Society wants men going their own way banned. They are absolutely furious over MGTOW because more and more young men are now saying that they want to live separate lives. Separate lives. They don't want to interact. They don't want to date. They don't want to have children. They want to live lives separated away from the things specifically that are making them, or the people that are making them unhappy. And you're seeing what's happening. The state is coming for them. Agents of the state are coming for them. The church is coming for them, which is just another version of the state. And they are shaming men. They're saying that these aren't even men. Here's the hypocrisy. To be a woman, you just have to identify. To be a man, you have to live up to the expectations of others. Let's go ahead and jump into these videos because it's so profound what we are seeing. Absolutely profound. Okay? Men, the age, the state, the church, women, the simps, they want this thing shut down immediately because it's messing the money up.
So Richard, let's start with you. What does it mean to be a boy in 2024?
Well, I'm not a boy anymore, in case that's not obvious to the crowd, but I have raised 3 sons, all in their 20s now, which is one of the reasons I think I'm drawn to this work. And I think the very fact that doesn't have an obvious answer anymore, that's a box with a big question mark in it now. And a lot of boys are struggling with that. And I would say that the best answer to that is probably not to tell, but to show. And what we should be showing is that mature masculinity, which is a phrase I much prefer to thinking about toxic and non-toxic, which maybe we'll get into, is actually just about being generative. I think I've tried to raise my boys. I think we should try to raise our sons that actually just being for yourself is the opposite of masculinity. That masculinity and being a boy is about relationships. It's about being generative. It's about giving more than you get. And so there's this online movement, some of you may have heard of, called the Men Going Their Own Way movement. It's like a male separatist movement, basically saying, oh, screw this, I'm off, everyone hates me. Men going their own way aren't men at all, in my view. Is that men who are in communities, in families, who are kind of giving more than they get, that's what I think it means. That's what I think the aspiration should be. But I honestly think a lot of boys right now don't have a good answer, and so they go looking online for an answer and find some pretty bad ones, honestly.
Michael?
So, guys, it's unfortunate, but you can see now what's happening, okay? You can see what's happening now. You can see that we are at the collapse. Everything is falling apart. Society wants this group banned. Society is going after the MGTOWs. Society is going after the men walking away. Men walking away are not MGTOWs. Some MGTOWs are also MWAs, but not all MWAs are MGTOWs. Men walking away, also known as men with attitudes or men with alternatives, are men walking away from the things and the people that don't work, things or people that don't work for them, and instead towards their best alternatives. And they're not afraid to leave. If a man finds a good woman, a man walking away finds a good woman in Western society, he may walk away with her. Although for every one good woman in Western society, there are 20 good men chasing her. Hence, a lot of men walking away may say, okay, well, then I'll go overseas and I will find someone overseas that aligns with the things that I am looking for in life. And of course, the catchers are out and about because these are enforcers. These people, these are agents of the state. The guy that you just heard, this is a catcher. He is a catcher. This is an agent of the state that is there trying to shame men back to the fields, because the state is losing money, significant amounts of money. Women make 80% of all consumer purchases. Men pay 80% of all taxes in society. So you can see how things are unbalanced. And the value that women provide to the state is directly linked to their ability to extract wealth and resources from men and then reallocate those funds to the state. That is the purpose that women occupy within society. And that is the purpose of simps. The job of a simp is to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state. And they are thereby rewarded for doing so, just as your typical woman. If a woman is not able to deliver upon this, then her value to the state is diminished, and so are her rewards. Guys, and it operates within the church as well. Look at how the church feels about men walking away. Listen to how they feel about men going their own way. They are condemning them.
Young guys are doing with their time and energy. Porn, social media, video games, the beast, the false prophet, and the antichrist. That's what they're doing. Single guys in your 20s, here's what we know. 68% of guys in their 20s today are not dating a woman, not intending to date a woman, have no actual interest in a relationship with a female, and are making no movement toward marriage whatsoever. In the last few years, a lot of young men just moved home with their mother. They have no intention of ever moving out until they can find a girlfriend in her 20s or 30s with a good job and low expectations. And then their hope is to move into her house and have her pick up where mom left off. And what these are generational curses and bad patterns that are destroying young men. Destroying young men. And today, young men are an endangered species. And everything in our culture is to absolutely remove their masculinity and to ruin their legacy.
Notice it's about being a giver, about giving more than you receive. It's about serving your country, serving your church, serving the women within your state, serving the women within your community. Do you not see this? Do you not see the reality of this? And now that they're, guys, this guy is there crying his eyes out because, the men walking away, the MGTOWs, they're taking food out of his children's mouth. 68% of men don't want to go to church anymore. 68% of men don't want to get married anymore. They don't want to have children. They're not even having conversations. They're not dating. They have no interest in being in relationships whatsoever. They're staying at home, living their best lives, playing video games, and that's it. Relaxing, chilling. And of course, what happens when men walk away? What happens is that it's less money for the state, no taxes for the state, no tithes, no offerings for the church. Because the church is just another version of the state. Hence, the church is really just an extension of the state. So the state is now losing out on all of that money. And of course, it's furious. The state is absolutely furious. And the Sisterhood, which is an organization that has aligned itself with the state, it is a partner of the state or an accomplice of the state. Let me correct myself, because it's not like they're friends, okay? But it is an accomplice of the state. It sees what's happening as well. And the Sisterhood is furious. The Sisterhood is popping up in MWA. It's popping up around the MGTOWs, and it's furious because their SLAVEs are now leaving. I keep on going back to this comment. Guys, this is the Sisterhood. The Sisterhood, an agent of the Sisterhood, actually came to my channel, Peanut Boxes, and said, society is also coming for us women over 30 who have opted out of motherhood and marriage. Society is upset. We don't want to birth future taxpayers and humans bound into indentured servitude. There's no reason for men and women to not like one another. We are brothers and sisters. We need to stand up. We need to stand up for each other as humans and fight for collective freedom. Life and society is set up for us all to fail and never truly get ahead. I mean, what a load of crock. It sounds nice on the surface, but these people, they abandoned the family unit. They abandoned men. They said they didn't like us or want us, and they wanted to be boss babes. And now the writing is on the wall, and hard times are on the way. If we look even closer at her message, she says, I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. Let's be friends and help each other. Physical intimacy, or sex, has become a distraction. In other words, they want to give nothing in the relationship. Forget about motherhood. Forget about, raising children. Forget about being a wife. Forget about physical intimacy. Those things are not important. No, it's basically about community and men serving their community. Women are like, well, look at men, you need to come back and you need to help us. But it's all about what men can do. What do women do? Our presence is enough. Guys, the Sisterhood is broke, all right? The Sisterhood is broke. The state is not able to subsidize them to their liking anymore. The simp economy is running dry. And now you have women who give nothing, take everything, and they're pissed off because men are walking away. I responded to her by saying, this is a space where everyone can talk. Women are free to talk here. With that said, we keep it real. You opted out of the family unit. You're in your 30s. You opted out of marriage. You opted out of motherhood. And you believe that physical intimacy and possibly even the desire for physical intimacy is a distraction. However, you want men and women to come together and fight for one another. People give value to receive value. Feminism got women everything that they wanted. If women don't marry or have children, then they lose access to the family unit outside of their immediate family. Hence, if they want access to resources and security that they cannot provide for themselves or a provider and a protector, they must look to the state for those things. No man wants to provide for and protect someone or something that doesn't give him any value in return. Even simps who have ulterior motives, even simps have ulterior motives. Although in the case of normal non-simp men wanting a return of value for being providers and protectors, I don't see that as an ulterior motive. I see that as being a person of value that is not allowing others to take advantage of him. A man who is giving away his value for free or forced/coerced into giving away his value for free, even under the guise of community, humanity, and love, is really just an indentured servant that is being gaslit. She was extremely furious. She said, red flags and alarm bells going off. What's your response? You sound predatory. No physical intimacy. No sex from sisters equal no help. You've just shown me your true colors. And then again, I like to go back to the comment from Peter Bain. He says, you're cooked, in responding to Peanuts. And that basically means you're finished. This is the sisterhood. The sisterhood is absolutely furious. I welcomed her into the space. I said that, we're just going to keep it real here. I explained exactly that, people do things for others to receive value back. I pointed out that she's looking for the benefits of a family, but she is not a part of the family unit. She opted out of the family unit. She tried to make the entire thing about men, men demanding that women provide them with physical intimacy for value. But the reality is that that's not the case. That's absolutely not the case. If men just want physical intimacy, they'll go and see a professional. That's what most men do. They'll either use their hand, they'll go and see a professional. Okay? Men get married to create a family unit. Okay? They get married so they have a wife, they have a child. So they build something together with these individuals. This is the reason why men get married. Okay? She's upset because men are not giving their value away to a community of women. Men don't just go and help other men for the sake of helping other men. It's a give and take relationship. But the sisterhood has nothing to offer, nor does it want to offer anything. The sisterhood does not want to be mothers. The sisterhood do not want to be wives. The sisterhood does not offer labor. The sisterhood will not play the roles and fill the roles that men fill. So what does the sisterhood bring to the table? And immediately, once you bring up these points, they immediately try to blow their something is wrong whistle. Like if someone was walking in a park and something bad happened and they blow a whistle, they blow their something is bad whistle and say that, oh, this is a bad man. This is a bad man. So they operate as agents of the state, but when the state is no longer subsidizing their living, they turn around and they come after innocent men who are just walking away. And when these men say, listen, you're not doing anything for us, you're not providing any value for us, so why are we going to give anything to why are we going to do anything for you? They immediately blow the whistle and try to destroy these men. That show, guys, their attitude, they dislike us so much that if we don't give them what they want, they'll try to destroy us, even if it's true or not, and then go and then move on and then say and do it to other men and say, well, look at what we did to these guys over here. Look at what we did to them because we didn't get what we wanted. If you don't give us what we want, we'll do it to you too. This is intimidation on their end. They're trying to intimidate us and to coerce us into handing over our value to them, or else they will destroy us. My gosh. This is what, there was an idiot. I made a poll where I basically said, go where you're appreciated, go where you're celebrated. And this idiot in the comments, and it wasn't just him, there were others who were like, go where you are needed and endure. Just because you are needed doesn't mean that you are wanted. And once they no longer need you, they will dispose of you. Look at this individual right here. Look at the sisterhood. The sisterhood needs us, but they do not want us. They absolutely resent us. And if the day came where they can live without us, they would dispose of us. I've pointed out countless times that the church is just an extension of the state. It's just another version. And they're pissed off. Why would you want men to get married and not have a prenup? Why would you want men to go into relationships where they are not happy? Why are you saying that the job of a man is just to serve? It's kind of like you don't see men as human beings and only as automatons, that must provide value for women, for the church, for the state. And then when they're no longer needed, they are basically gotten rid of.
Man should get a prenup if you're going to get married. A prenup is an agreement that you and your spouse sign that protects your assets. 50% of marriages fail. It's not like planning for it to fail or thinking it's going to fail. I have life insurance, but I don't plan on dying, but I'm ready for anything. 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman. She's incentivized to leave your ass because she'll make more money. You're not going to leave. You don't want to give up half your shit. Anyone can get a prenup. Let's each leave with the shit we came with.
The dude obviously doesn't have a lot of money to split. He can't even afford a whole shirt.
And this guy thinks that he's going to bring more men back to the church by insulting. Guys, this is female behavior. All right? He's just angry that he can't send his children to the private schools they want to. He can't afford to provide what he used to because men are walking away. He's angry as hell. Angry as hell. All right? Because the state is going broke, the church is growing broke, women are growing broke, the agents of the state are going broke, and men are surviving and thriving, working just enough to survive, just enough to thrive, and no more. And if you keep raising taxes on men, men will just continue living far below their means. The average man can live happily in a shoebox at the side of the road. It's the honest to goodness truth. Society wants men going their own way banned because men are now walking away and saying, we're done. We are done. And there's not much they can do about it. They can punish you and they can try to make you really, really sorry. But at the end of the day, the only way that they can make money is if men willingly choose to push themselves beyond the brink to provide for society and subsidize the living of others in society, specifically women, children, the state, the church, which is just an extension of the state. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Society wants men going their own way bad. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.